So.
Yeah.
So Gerald, you're actually in quarantine right now, right? You were diagnosed with COVID.
Yeah, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere.
About how long you been in isolation? About how long you been in isolation for, man?
Well, I started having symptoms last Sunday, and then I got tested Monday and got the rapid test and got the results back, that afternoon, and talked with my wife, and we just decided it'd probably be a good idea for me to come out here away from the family and everything. So let's see, this is day 8, and I'll stay out here tomorrow, and then I'll go home the day after that. So 2 more days here, and I'll head home. Yeah, I lost smell and taste. Like, it was just weird. I was just not really feeling bad or anything like that. I just couldn't smell or taste anything. And then that night, I started having just some mild chills and a little headache. And then the next day, still kind of felt kind of achy, I guess, neck pain. And went and got tested, it was positive. And then I guess the first 3 days the first 4 days I had a headache, just a mild headache and mild nausea, but it didn't really, slow me down too bad from what I was doing. The last 3 days I felt 100%, but I'm still in quarantine, but I feel fine. Overall, I would rather have coronavirus than have a bad case of the flu anytime.
Yeah. Dude, I've had the flu, man, and I felt like total garbage. Like, I could not
thought
get
I
out.
was going to.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I couldn't do anything, though. I couldn't get out of bed. Like, I mean, I could, but you know what I mean? I was just drained. I was, like, in bed for, like, 4 straight days. And I felt like total garbage, and I was hacking. I ended up having, I ended up having pneumonia from it. So when you said you had COVID, I was like, oh, man, I can't imagine what COVID feels like. It's supposed to be rougher than the flu. And, those symptoms are relatively mild compared to, your normal everyday person that gets the flu. I mean, usually, any of us are 20-year-olds.
Right over there? You look like you're running from the police, man.
No, I'm trying to get into some light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's dark out here.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lewis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, once you're back too, dude. Those hogs out there, they like white guys.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah.
So, I read a post recently on COVID, and here's what it said. You guys let me know what you think. So it was said to be written by Dr. Fauci, but later they retracted that and found it was written by Amy Wright. I don't know. But they said, it goes, chickenpox is a virus. Lots of people have had it and probably don't think about it much once the initial illness has passed, but it stays in your body and lives there forever. And maybe when you're older, you have painful outbreaks of shingles. You don't just get over this virus in a few weeks, never to have another health effect. We know this because it's been around for years and has been studied medically for years. Herpes is also a virus. Some of you might know about that one. And once someone has it, it stays in your body and lives there forever. And anytime they get a little run down or stressed out, they're going to have an outbreak, blah, blah, blah. HIV is a virus. It attacks the immune system, makes the carrier. Well, anyways, y'all know about all this stuff. Anyways, what they're trying to kind of say is that this virus is so new that we don't know actually the long-term effects of this. And the reason why we know those other things.
Reactivate.
those viruses are older, and we've been able to study it. You know, some of them have come up to be even the cause of cancer, and like HIV has been kind of a something, you know, that they study and realize, well, it causes organ failure, it causes, you know, all this stuff, you know. So they said now with the COVID-19, we have a novel virus that spreads rapidly and easily. The full spectrum of the symptoms and health effects is only just beginning to be cataloged, much less understood. Some cause symptoms may include fever, fatigue, coughing, pneumonia, chills, trembling, acute respiratory distress, lung damage, loss of taste, sore throat, headaches, difficulty breathing, mental confusion, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite. Strokes have also been reported in some people who have COVID, swollen eyes, blood clots, seizures, liver damage, kidney damage, rash, and COVID toes. And the people that have been tested positive have been documented to be sick even after 60 days. So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Like I
think what you're saying is that there could be a possibility of it reactivating at some point in your life, like kind of like the shingles does, or kind of like the herpes simplex virus does, you know, when your immune system's down. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Like, it's supposed to belong to the coronavirus, which causes the common cold, and that doesn't reactivate. But I mean, this is a novel virus, as they say. So, I mean, there is a possibility, I guess, but I feel like they're working so hard on this thing that I think we'll get answers on this sooner rather than later. It's kind of crazy, though, because they're working so hard on this thing, but HIV's been around forever. Still no cure for that. You know, herpes has been around for forever, and that there's no cure for that either. So I'm not really sure if they're ever, I guess, if they'll ever find a cure. But I mean, they're working harder on this virus than any virus that I've ever known of.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'd have to compare it to other coronaviruses. I think trying to compare it to like HIV or HPV or herpes or whatever. But they are saying also that it's a rapidly mutating virus. Like they're trying to study it, but it's rapidly mutating, so they can't really get a hold on it. They are trying to develop vaccines, but it would just be kind of like what a flu vaccine would be. You know, if you wanted to, you'd get it every year.
Oh.
And, you know, maybe you would, maybe it would work for you. Maybe it wouldn't. But I think it's something that we're going to deal with for a long time. Back in March, whenever this all first started, I thought this was ridiculous, you know, and I still kind of feel that way. But, you know, we're going to be dealing with this for, I think, years. Is it ridiculous to have people wear masks for years? I don't know. And also, Dr. Fauci, he can't give anybody a straight answer. He said masks are effective, and then he said masks don't do anything. And then he said if you're asymptomatic, don't wear a mask. So all this information that they're giving us, they're trying to give us some good news. But I was listening to a podcast today, and I won't say who it was, but he's a pretty conservative guy. And he was saying there's no good news, and there's probably not going to be any good news. But people are going to play it politically, like, you know, it's their fault or whatever, to play politically. Let's just go into it, you know, bipartisan, and quit trying to give this false information just to give a party a vote, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, this mask thing is pretty ridiculous as well. Well, I mean, look, listen, if we're gonna wear masks to save people, why weren't we doing this for the flu?
Or anything ever.
Right, ever. You know what I mean? I mean, so all of a sudden now, for a virus that's 99 point something survivability rate, you know, we're having to wear a mask, and people are like, oh, well, I agree. I mean, whatever. Wear your mask. I'll wear my mask. I'll make people happy, and wear
Yeah.
my mask.
Exactly. I wear it to keep other people happy.
Right. And that's only because the media really will shame you. You know what I mean? That they put out this brainwashing thing out and be like, hey, if you see anyone without their mask, shame them. But where was media when the flu was killing people? I mean, the flu kills people every year, and no one was putting masks in.
Like 50, 60, 70,000 people a year. Right. And it's been doing that for the last forever.
And there were some new strains of the flu that actually came in at one point, right?
Right. The H1N1, there was no mask pushing back then. I mean, we were in the ER when that happened, and I don't remember anyone wearing, pushing this agenda, wear your mask, wear your mask.
And then we went right to lunch.
Yeah.
So that
and then Ebola. Remember the Ebola fear factor?
Oh yeah. That was short-lived.
I remember that pretty damn well. The Ebola I'm afraid of.